Have you ever felt like you're supposed to have everything figured out by now, but you're actually more confused than ever? If you're in your 20s right now, I need you to stop what you're doing and listen to this because what I'm about to tell you could completely change how you see this decade of your life. Your 20s aren't supposed to be the best years of your life. They're supposed to be the most transformative. And there's a massive difference between those two things that nobody talks about. Right now, you're probably looking at social media watching people your age seemingly have it all together. They're getting promotions, buying houses, finding their soulmates, and posting about their perfect lives. Meanwhile, you're eating cereal for dinner, questioning every decision you've ever made, and wondering if you're falling behind in some invisible race that everyone else seems to be winning. But here's what nobody tells you about your 20s. This confusion you're feeling, it's not a bug in the system. It's a feature. Your brain is literally still developing until you're 25. The part responsible for decision-making, planning, and understanding consequences is still under construction. So, when you feel overwhelmed by choices or uncertain about your future, you're not broken. You're human. Think about it this way. You spent the first 18 years of your life in a structured system where someone else made most of your major decisions. Where to go, what to learn, when to wake up, even what to eat. Then suddenly, at 18 or 21, society hands you complete freedom and expects you to immediately know what to do with it. That's like giving someone the keys to a Formula One car when they've only ever ridden a bicycle. The pressure to have everything figured out by 25 is completely artificial. It's a timeline created by previous generations who lived in a completely different world. A world where you could graduate high school, get a job at the local factory, work there for 40 years, and retire with a pension. That world doesn't exist anymore, but somehow we're still using their roadmap. Today, as the economy changes so rapidly that the career you train for might not even exist by the time you're 30. The average person will have 12 to 15 different jobs during their lifetime. So this idea that you need to pick one path and stick to it forever, it's not just outdated, it's counterproductive. Your 20s are actually the perfect time to experiment. You have fewer obligations than you'll ever have again. No mortgage, probably no kids, and if you mess up, you have time to recover. This is your opportunity to try things, fail at things, and discover what actually energizes you versus what you thought would make you happy. I want you to think about your 20s as research and development for the rest of your life. Every job you take, every relationship you have, every place you live, every mistake you make is collecting data about who you are and what you want. The confusion you feel isn't evidence that you're doing something wrong. It's evidence that you're paying attention. But here's where most people get stuck. They think they need to wait until they feel ready to start building the life they want. They think they need more experience, more money, more confidence, or more clarity before they can begin. But readiness is a myth. You don't get ready, then start. You start, then get ready along the way. The most successful people in their 30s and 40s didn't have it all figured out in their 20s either. The difference is they started moving before they felt ready. They understood that clarity comes from action, not thought. You can think about your career for 5 years, or you can try 3 different jobs in 2 years and learn more about yourself than any amount of self-reflection could teach you. Your 20s are also when you're learning how to be alone with yourself for the first time. Throughout your teens, you were surrounded by family, classmates, and built-in social structures. Now you might be living alone, working alone, or feeling socially isolated in ways you never experienced before. This loneliness isn't a punishment. It's preparation. Learning to enjoy your own company, to sit with uncertainty, to make decisions without constant input from others, these are superpowers that will serve you for the rest of your life. The discomfort you feel now is building emotional muscles you'll need later. Here's something else nobody mentions. Your 20s are when you start losing people. Not necessarily to death, but to different life paths. Friends from high school scatter to different cities. College friends get serious about careers or relationships. Some people get married and disappear into couple land. Others become obsessed with advancement or money. This isn't betrayal. This is growth. People are supposed to grow apart when they're growing in different directions. The friendships that survive your 20s will be deeper and more authentic because they're chosen rather than convenient. Stop trying to maintain every connection from your past. Instead, Focus on building relationships with people who align with who you're becoming, not who you used to be. Your 20s are also when you start understanding that your parents are just people. Flawed, uncertain people who were making it up as they went along, just like you are now. This realization can be devastating and liberating at the same time. You start to see them as humans rather than authorities, and you begin taking responsibility for your own choices rather than blaming your upbringing for everything. The key to thriving in your 20s isn't having a perfect plan. It's developing the ability to adapt, to bounce back from setbacks, and to stay curious about yourself and the world around you. It's learning that your worth isn't determined by how quickly you achieve traditional milestones. So, if you're in your 20s and feeling lost, confused, or behind, congratulations. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Your 20s aren't about having everything figured out. They're about becoming someone capable of figuring things out as they come. And that's a much more valuable skill than any predetermined plan could ever be.